Greetings and hello to a little bit of a channel update with me mostly talking and not much happening in the background. Well, I do have some little things here. So yeah, technically for you when you're watching this, the Beta Advent campaign is not over yet, but for me it is. I'm uploading it currently in the background here, but you will see this first. Anyway, so I wanted to get an early start on the next little thing that I've planned, just so that I can get your feedback and hopefully start recording that next thing, probably starting this weekend at some point. So normally I use these channel updates also to like reflect a bit on the previous campaign, but I did that at the end of the Leviathan mission. I ramble on a little bit about the current, about the Beta Strike Beta Advent campaign, so I'm not going to repeat it here. The only thing I'm going to repeat here is if you have some time and some and are interested, the creator of the Beta Advent mod, the BK, is occasionally, I'm not sure if he's streaming right now, so he's streaming on Twitch a bit of a goodbye to XCOM campaign, because he considers his mods done and will stop modding and probably also stop playing for now with XCOM 2, and so he's doing a little bit of a goodbye stream and drop in, say hello and thanks for the mods if you have the time. Just a little shout out there. Anyway, looking forward, I think I mentioned it before in previous channel updates. There is one thing I want to do, and that is mainly returning to the Long War. Now, Long War 2 obviously is not upgraded to War of the Chosen or in any way. The Long War of the Chosen mod project kind of crashed and burned. Didn't really happen. So you don't have the new features, you don't have the best improved performance, etc. But for me, Long War kinda is still hitting the right spots, and that's why I kinda want to return. I really like the infiltration mechanic and everything that's happening on the world map, and I really noticed that towards the end of the Beta Advent campaign just now, where we were basically just flying around the world map and scanning, yay, assorted loot again. It's like there's nothing to do, it didn't really feel like the decision mattered, etc. And the whole Long War world map, I like that. Also, I really like the infiltration mechanic compared to anything fatigue or notoriety or tiredness mechanics. Like this whole sending your soldiers out, but if something comes up you can still recall them, etc. Yeah. So we're gonna do Long War 1.5. One thing I mentioned at the end of the last campaign is I want to probably play without fire. So if you're not super familiar with Long War 2, any fire debuff on an enemy pretty much disables them. Like disables their attack, most abilities. I think they can still slap you in melee, but everything else just disabled. So fire abilities and fire weapons really strong. And if I think back about my last campaign, my general tactic was to have a grenadier with fire bombs, and then just first group that we spotted was usually just firebombed, set on fire, and then slowly taken apart. So the idea was, let's get out of the comfort zone and not rely on any kind of fire stuff. Most importantly, that means no fire grenades, no fire ammunition, although I'm not sold on the ammunition. This is a super late game item. You need mutant elites for that, so maybe allow that, but to be consequent, I shouldn't. And these are the icons for the fire talents that technical has. So I would then also restrict technicals to not be allowed to use any of the fire items, fire talents. That means Technical can still use his normal flamethrower, he just doesn't get any upgrades for it from his talents and abilities. Because I thought, like, even restricting the flamethrower would then mean that you just don't bring technicals at all, maybe. And it's a bit awkward, so that's just a little bit of a restriction. Now, I have to say, while I do like to impose some restrictions or things on myself that increase the difficulty, like putting one hand behind my back while I'm playing or something like that, LW2 is still pretty hard, and I think most of the previous campaigns I played were very close to losing. So maybe we do some minor adjustments in other places. Most importantly, I was thinking about doing some very minor tweaks to the INI files for the AWC. At one software center you can, each soldier has 6 abilities, has some abilities they can train in addition to their basic. Think like similar to the training center and War of the Chosen, right? Instead of having ability points, it's just a matter of training time. So what I wanted to tweak a little bit is basically increasing the ranks that are required to train them. So usually a fresh soldier can pretty much train everything they have available. So increasing the ranks, so you need higher ranking soldiers to train higher ranking abilities. But also I wanted to streamline the ability pool a little bit, because there's some really garbage abilities in there, and maybe throwing those out. Although there's a risk that you then have really only the strong abilities remaining, so I have to be careful about the selection. And the third thing is maybe tweaking the AWC times a little bit. If I remember correctly, at the moment it's something like 4 days for the first level of ability, 6 days, and then 10 days. Maybe doing something just like 369, which is not a major difference. And what I really want to reduce the time for is the pistol abilities, because I feel in the previous campaigns I used pistol abilities like only on one soldier, and only because he had the perfect layout. I don't know, it's not set in stone yet, and that's something where I'm certainly open to feedback. The other thing where I'm open to feedback is, well, yeah, also character. I ordered these slides wrong. I just go to the next one. Mods. Let's talk about this one first. Now, I have the picture of the Make Psyops Great Again mod here. I'm not 100% certain if I want to use that. I used that, I think, in my Long War 1.3 campaign. So that might be an option. Generally, I'm gonna post the mod, a link to the mod list in the description from the previous 1.5 campaign. If you have any suggestions for mods, let me know. I'm very open there. I don't want to throw in too much that alters the gameplay. I'm also going to remove any map mods, like that get those that generate completely new maps, because we had some issues with that. Still going to leave in anything that just add parcels and PCPs and this kind of stuff. They're the minor things. So yeah, I think psionics, I might actually be going for early psionics, and that's why I was looking at this mod. Mostly it's more variety, it doesn't really change the power structure of psionics, I think. Again, open to feedback from you guys. So, talk about you guys. Character pool submissions. I'm gonna be using, unless someone says, no, I don't want to be included here, every viewer character that has been in any way, shape or form in any XCOM 2 campaign so far. Hopefully not forgetting anyone. So what I usually do when I start the game, I leave it to character pool only, leave your characters in there, so you're kind of guaranteed to be in the first wave that dies early. And then I have my own pool with characters from previous campaigns or my own created characters that I'll add in later, and I also really like having some randomly generated characters in there just to have some new names, some new stories showing up. If you want to be included, make a change to your existing character, or have never had a character in a campaign, etc., and want one in the WotC campaign, easiest way, if you can you have XCOM 2, you create a character, you export the bin file, either leave a link to a download location, like, I don't know, Dropbox, Google Drive, etc., in the comments below. You can also ping me on Discord. I'm usually in the XCOM Discord, or I don't have an own Discord server set up yet, but yeah, there's an XCOM Discord, or I don't know, Marbozier's Discord, Christopher Ott's Discord. That's the channels, the servers I usually hang out in, so feel free to ping me, send me a character. If you don't have the game, feel free to just send me a name, a description, and I'll create something. Okay, so what else do I have here? I think that's all for the WotC campaign. There's also something I mentioned in my pre-Christmas channel update, that I wanted to do a no-cover run in War of the Chosen. Because of the funny advice that most people give, like, oh, half cover is no cover and full cover is half cover, so game is really hard and you need to take the best possible cover. And at the same time, yeah, if you alpha strike everything, then the game's easy. And like, yeah, but then I don't need cover. So let's take this to an extreme and actually not take cover for the whole campaign. Now I formulated that rule in a way to say, okay, in this run, no soldier may get shot at while in cover. So I can still use cover to retain concealment. I can still like peek around the corner to get the flank on the one guy that I kill, as long as I'm not shot at in return, because then I'm breaking the rules, and any soldier who breaks the rules gets dismissed after the mission or abandoned if it's like an evac mission. Like, you're out. You get shot in cover, your fault. And any high experienced soldiers and any equipment will be lost. Well, I mean, I'm not sure how that works with dismiss. Also, I was thinking of not doing that as a YouTube campaign, but rather streaming that on Twitch. Still need to test that out a little bit. Main reason is I want to get a little bit into Twitch streaming, just to have more immediate feedback and to change it up a bit. It would be probably something like at most 1 day per week, and probably like maybe something between 2 to 4 hours on a Friday or Saturday. Now I will also make sure that the Twitch VODs are available, so you could rewatch the whole thing there. Other than that, this would be a completely unmodded campaign, so nothing that changes gameplay in any way. Of course, like cosmetic mods, voice packs, etc. And I would not pose any restrictions on me, so no squad size reductions, or we use the frost bomb only against rulers, etc. No. Just fully full out, we're using everything we have to beat the game. I'm not sure how hard it's gonna be, how maybe it's gonna be impossible because you can't get through the early game when you only have ballistic weapons and crappy soldiers. We'll find out. I'm open to that. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. So check the description of the video. I'm gonna post a link to the mod list. Gonna post links to both my Twitch channel, which hasn't been used since like 5 years ago, and WK's Twitch channel, so check that out if he's streaming his goodbye campaign. Gonna post a link to the character pool from WotC, or at least the screenshots of the soldiers there. And whatever else I remember between now and me actually writing that description. Alright. Okay, yeah, let me know in the comments about WotC, mod setup, modifications to the rules, etc. Whatever cool ideas you have. And I'm open to suggestions, and I hopefully get to recording this weekend. So maybe the campaign will start on Sunday. We'll find out. As always, thanks for listening and watching, and I hopefully see you next time.